Hello everybody, welcome back to SpeakUp. Well, today is the class number 7. Well, in my previous video, we've discussed about some 3-letter words and we've learned how to pronounce and spell them with the sounds from the phonemic chart. Well, today we're going to learn a very important thing. There are so many aspects when you need to learn English properly. And the main aspect to learn the perfect pronunciation of English is probably word stress. Now, you may be thinking, what is a word stress? Well, let me give you an example. What if I say elephant instead of elephant? No one will get a clue what I'm saying. And yeah, that's why you need word stress. You need to learn what a word stress is. Well, a word stress is an emphasis or strength given to a word or in a syllable in a word. Now, do you know what a syllable is? Well, a syllable is a single unit of sound that usually contains one vowel. For example, in the word cat, there are one syllable and one vowel sound. Cat. On the other hand, the word picture has 2 vowel sounds and 2 syllables. Picture, picture. So now you may be thinking when and how we need to use stress. Well, there are 2 different kinds of word stress. They are the primary stress and the secondary stress. Well, the primary stress is the loudest and the strongest stress in a word. And it's a stress given to a syllable which makes it much more prominent than the rest of the syllable. Well, on the other hand, the secondary stress is not unvoiced and not as much as loud as the primary stress. Well, the primary stress is indicated with an apostrophe, and the secondary stress is indicated with a comma. Well, there are some confusions between them. So for your kind information, I'm going to tell you guys some rules to make it much more easier. Well, the 2-syllable nouns have their main stress on their first syllable. For example, picture, picture, nature, nature. On the other hand, 2-syllable adjectives have their main stress on the first syllable as well. For example, beautiful, pretty. And rule number 3 is 2-syllable verbs have their main stress on their second syllable. For example, decide, belong, begin. Rule number 4. Words ending with IC or ic have their main stress before the IC ending, and we call them the penultimate stress. As in the word music, heroic, automatic. Then words ending with SION and TION have their main stress before these 2 ending. I mean, they have the main stress before SION ending and TION ending. And we also call them the penultimate stress. As in the word television, conversation, invasion, etc. Then rule number 6 is words ending with TY, GY, PHY have their main stress before the penultimate stress. I mean the antepenultimate stress. As in the word photography, biology. And rule number 7 is words ending with AL have their main stress on the antepenultimate syllable, as in the word musical. Physical. Rule number 8. Compound nouns have their main stress on the first part, as in the word bookshelf, blackbird. And rule number 9 is compound adjectives have their main stress on the second part, as in the word well-educated, old-fashioned. Now, these are the rules you have to follow to have a perfect use of stress. And you have to remember one thing, which is, if your stress mark changes, then the word class or the meaning can be changed too. For example, the word export. Export turns into the word to export. The word import turns into the word to import. The word contract turns into the word to contract. The word object turns into the verb to object. As you can see, the word object indicates that it's a thing. Object. Now, if we change the stress and put it on the second syllable, it turns into like this. Object, and it means disapproval. So hope you liked the video. Stay with SpeakUp and always practice English. And yeah, stay sweet. Goodbye.